Today's video, I want to give you guys a heads up on some great deals available on the Nintendo eShop right now, specifically on Resident Evil games, and also some interesting words coming from Saber Interactive, talking upcoming Nintendo Switch titles that will actually surprise fans. We'll talk that in just a little bit. But first of all, as noted, Resident Evil games are discounted over on the Nintendo eShop. Resident Evil 4 is down to $14.99, which is an excellent game. Rumblings are that this game is going to be remade and it will be out in 2021. Seems like Capcom is going back and remaking a lot of the Resident Evil games. Nevertheless, RE4 probably won't see a Switch release. But the original still holds up really well, given that this was a PlayStation 2 game, up-resed a little bit. The visuals are still pretty decent. Gameplay-wise, it is a little bit dated, but overall, this was such a great game on the PlayStation 2 and GameCube that it still holds up pretty well today. I mean, I played through it not too long ago, maybe a year or two ago, and I had a great time with it. $15 is pretty good, but do bear in mind that this is a relatively short game, but I don't think that is a big deal. Resident Evil is down to $12.89, Resident Evil 0, $12.89, Resident Evil 5, $14.99, and Resident Evil 6, $14.99. So definitely stay away from RE6, that game is not very good. Resident Evil 5 is pretty good, I enjoyed it quite a bit. Much like RE4 though, it does take the franchise more so in an action-oriented route, but I had a lot of fun with it, and $15 for it is pretty good, especially if you have a buddy to play it with. RE and RE0, obviously a little bit more old school in terms of presentation, but pretty good in their own right, and at $12.89 they are a little bit cheaper. So that's definitely a stronger element with that game, so check those out if you're interested. I would definitely give RE4 a recommendation at $14.99. That is a pretty good deal. Alright, moving on from that, Saber Interactive says upcoming Nintendo Switch titles will actually end up surprising fans in terms of what games are going to be coming. Now, if you don't know, Saber Interactive has helmed some very, very high-key ports, including games like Vampire, Call of Cthulhu, and most importantly, and most surprisingly, they managed to bring The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt to the Nintendo Switch, which I think is something that nobody really expected. Now, does the game look as good as the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and God forbid the PC version? No, absolutely not. They definitely had to cut some corners. However, the fact of the matter is, they got The Witcher 3 running on the Nintendo Switch, and that alone is an impressive feat, and the game is still definitely playable, and best of all, it was all on one cartridge. And then you're looking at other games like LA Noire was brought over to the Nintendo Switch, and now we have another game that was only released on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC, I should say, that's coming to the Switch, that being World War Z. Speaking to WCCF Tech, Saber Interactive CEO Matthew Kark said that there's still a lot of potential in the system, that fans may be surprised about what other titles are on the way. Speaking to WCCF Tech, Kark touches on the success of World War Z and the Nintendo Switch port that's on the way. The company has been known for porting games again like Witcher 3, Vampire, and Call of Cthulhu, noting the upcoming Switch version of World War Z is actually more challenging than the port of The Witcher 3. Koch reveals in the interview, and despite the Switch being a touch over 3 years old now, he feels, quote, there's still a lot of great potential in the hardware and the platform. Koch states that they're still developing games for the platform. We've had enormous success so far, launching so many titles on the Switch, and we are continuing to develop for the platform. And he mentions, we, Saber Interactive, do feel there is more developers that can get out of the Switch hardware, and we think fans will be surprised at some of the upcoming titles for it. Saber has been revealed to be the co-developer of the upcoming Switch port of Crysis Remastered, which is another pretty intensive game, and there was also WWE 2K Battlegrounds on the way, and the studio was also recently acquired by THQ Nordic, so they're probably going to be working on a lot of those games as well, and THQ Nordic seems to be expanding quite quickly. As far as what these upcoming titles are going to be, that I'm not sure about, but I think Saber Interactive is at a position where they have really found their specialty in creating compelling ports of games that a lot of people didn't think were possible on the Nintendo Switch. Are they going to work on their own original games? Probably, especially now being acquired by THQ Nordic, but they've really found a nice market for themselves, and they're really establishing themselves as one of the notable studios in all of gaming. But that's going to conclude this video. Again, Resident Evil sale on the Nintendo eShop right now, and Saber Interactive says upcoming Nintendo Switch titles will end up surprising fans. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.